look at this, packed up tonight for a backbencher. What a big night. But I want to talk about this because this is very, very important. Our youth suicide rate is the second worst in the developed world, and now Health Minister Dr. Jonathan Coleman says he's making it a priority. I just want to ask the panel, I just want to ask the panel, what does he need to do? Todd, Muller, National.
Well, he needs to keep doing what we've said, which is we're going to spend another 250 million plus on mental health and addiction over the next 4 years. That's 300 million more over the last 8 years. This is a national tragedy.
Why did you ex-Lifeline?
Well, there's 11.
No,
it's a fair question,
but
there is 11 lines out there, and what we're trying to do is hear me out here. Hear me out here. We've set up a system 1737. Yeah, this is important. It actually deserves to be heard. 1737 for people to, if they're under pressure or they're feeling unwell, to be able to contact. They've got someone behind it.
Fair enough.
And a final point. I actually agree that there should be a target.
You agree that there should be a national suicide reduction target? That's a yes. Jan, Logie, what does Dr. Jonathan Coleman need to do?
I did hear the call from over there for him to resign in shame for this. But for the Greens, it's actually listening to the people and having the inquiry into mental health so that we can work out what is going on and what we need to do. When I hear a young person going to the hospital for a crisis assessment team because of their mental health and they're told to come back in 2 months, we have a crisis. And saying you've put the money in over the time doesn't cut it. We need an answer and get down into actually the detail of what we need.
Darroch Ball, New Zealand first. Darroch Ball, this is a really serious issue. It's a chronic issue in Aotearoa. We don't know what's causing it fully. What would New Zealand first do?
The fact of the matter is, any talk of targets or the money that's supposed to be putting in or not putting in, you could put $1 billion, $10 billion, it doesn't matter if the system is broken in the first place. Yeah. What's happening now is the government's targeting the top 5% acute mental health issues. But the problem is that there's 10 to 15% who need the help more than what the top 5% do, because they're going to end up in that situation in the first place. There are more numbers of those in the medium level with mental health issues that are not being detected.
All right, so what would Labor do then? Solutions. I mean, one of the ideas is more resilience in schools. Other countries have done that. Start young. What would Labor do?
Well, we would listen to the 5,000 young people that presented a petition to my colleague Grant Robertson on Tuesday. We would have consent and sexual relationships and healthy relationship education in our schools. We would prioritise LGBTI youth, who are 5 times more likely to attempt and commit suicide. We would also ensure that Helpline was funded, that Lifeline was funded, and that we did have counsellors in school, so broader than nurses, to help build the resilience.
Don't forget the National are replacing Lifeline and upping the money by about $250,000.
Yeah, and they dumped the provider who had a proven track record and also proven to develop over 800...
It's not just about the money or figures, Wallace.
Okay,
that's the whole point.
David Seymour, what should Dr. Jonathan Coleman do?
Oh, can I just clear up one thing? I'm a former Lifeline volunteer, and they were not killed off by the government.
They were. They lost their contract.
They lost a contract that they had chosen to go for, having previously been a voluntary organisation. The government contracted someone else to provide the same service. So, no, you don't know the history of Lifeline. I'm sorry.
Actually.
I was a volunteer for a long time before you were.
What
should they do? What should they do? I think we've got to start by confronting the simple reality that 70% of those who commit suicide in New Zealand had no prior contact with any mental health organisation. And the next thing I say to you is this: the idea that we set a target. What country has a target for the number of people committing suicide? It's completely nuts.
Okay, I want to go to our 14-year-old spokesperson Emma about this issue. Emma.
Emma, we're having a lot more suicides in the country, and especially with young people. Do you think it's got anything to do with social media and the rise of that, or online bullying?
No. Well, I mean, from what I have seen, it mostly seems to just be new people on a rise, new people, more LGBT youth, like having the pressure of coming out to your family, and of course people being unaccepting of them, people bullying them for who they are, especially parents and families being unsupportive. It's a horrible thing. I know one of my friends was actually in a horrible situation when she came out, and we're just trying to do our best to help her through. And I think depression rates are definitely high, and one of the things is that it's put down to teenage angst. Like, it's normalized in teen society to have depression, to feel that way. And also for a lot of teenage guys, I know they find it quite hard to share their feelings.
Yeah.
Which is a horrible thing.
Well spoken. Do you think that there should, you should have a nurse in every school, and perhaps schools need to show more or teach more resilience?
Well, I don't think schools need to teach as much resilience, but I do think that help is so important. Just having someone to talk to can help you so much in a time of need. Like, quite often my friends come to us because they don't know where to go to a psychologist and all that.
And Wallace,
Thank you, Emma.
That's
Briefly.
That's the level. That's the level where,
Hey.
that's at school level. That's
Can
the
I
level
just
where
do
the
one
system is
break?
broken.
We've actually got to go. We're over time. I just want to say a round of applause for Emma there.
Yeah.
It's really good to have you. Future MP. Next up on backbenchers, is it okay to call politicians names?
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.